Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschool mom to a rising third grader and rising kindergartner. And in this video, I am going to be showing you guys how I plan out our first week of homeschool. So we are starting our school year in just 2 short weeks. We are this week wrapping up our last week of summer school, which we've been doing for the last 4 weeks. And then we're taking a week off to celebrate a birthday and just like relax, decompose a bit, probably spend most of that time wrapping up loose ends, and then starting our school year officially on August 4th. So I wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough into the Schoolnest planning notebook that I'm using this year, show you a little bit about how I organized it, and then actually going to write out our first week of homeschool so you guys can see what I'm planning, how I'm squeezing it all in, and all that. So I'm going to turn this camera around and let's get started. All right, so this is my 3rd year using the Homeschool Lesson Planning Minimalist Notebook. I have been buying these on Amazon. I know that you can also, for the most part, get them custom, not custom made, but get them handmade from the creator with Schoolnest. But I have been purchasing mine on Amazon, and they've been working well enough for me. So I'm going to give you guys a quick flip through of my planner, and then we're going to go ahead and plan out our first week of homeschool. So I went ahead and I got this file off of another homeschool YouTuber, Mary Barfield at Your One Room Schoolhouse. I will try to link this below if I can find the file again, but it's possible that I've deleted it since. So I did print it off and then paste it into my homeschool planning notebook. And then I have a little key here about what each highlighter or pen mark means for first day, last day, break, summer school, holidays, and birthdays. We are going to be doing a 39-week homeschool year, and we school 4 days a week. We take Thursdays off for a nature outdoor program for my kids. Okay, so for the vision board, this was a new template in this year's Schoolnest, which I love. So I decided to use this as a spread for my goals, what I am most excited for, and priority projects. So we try to keep our homeschool, I'll try to zoom in a bit here. We try to keep our homeschool very creative. We are more Charlotte Mason inspired than anything else, but we definitely bring in quite a bit of Waldorf inspiration. So my goals for this year, I have me, my daughter, and my son. My goals for me are to do the lessons thoughtfully and thoroughly with more of a focus on, really taking our time versus checking something off. I'm trying to get away from my type A sort of mindset on things, just wanting to get things completed. Getting things completed makes me feel really good. I want to, find ways to get creative during pushback. My kids, like many others, don't particularly love formal school. And so when there is pushback, I just want to make space for creativity versus just immediately, getting defensive or frustrated. And then a big one for me this year is that I'm really going to try to learn alongside them. So in terms of our creative projects and nature study and history and science, I really want to be learning alongside them and to be doing my own projects, which will inspire them to do theirs. For my daughter, I really want to improve her handwriting. Her handwriting is a little rough. We're going to learn cursive this year, which might help. I want her to really take her time with school projects and not rush through them. I would like her to improve her calendar skills, and then just writing skills and mechanics is kind of a lofty goal for us this year, but I do think that we can make some headway. For my son, I want him to learn to read. He is starting kindergarten this year, so maybe just learning some simple CVC words by the end of the year would be great. To learn some calendar skills and to improve his speech, which we are constantly working on with him. I have a little quote here from A.A. Milne, and then I am most excited for Quite a bit here. I'll just read off a couple. We're going to do a seed bank project. We're learning ancient history. I'm teaching the kids studio art drawing, and many other things. We have priority projects here for each subject: history, science, art, language arts, math, service projects, habit training. And then I would like to write out my own I can statements for the year. If you're interested in our projects for the year, please visit my video, How I Keep Our Homeschool Creative, and I will link that video in the description. I used this spread for our botany study. We're doing botany for the majority of our homeschool science year. And so I broke this into term 1, term 2, and term 3. We are not using an all-in-one curriculum. We've struggled with that with science in the past. And so I brought in a bunch of resources that I love and for the most part that I know work well for us, including nature study, including unit studies, including the book seeds from Blossom and Root. If you're curious about our botany plans, again, I will link my botany unit study video for you down below. Okay, so I wrote in our calendar here. This is going to be for field trips and events. We don't have a whole lot planned yet, which is pretty typical for us. We are not an over-planning kind of family. We actually are big homebodies. Okay, I'm not using the daily tracker. We keep track of our child's attendance with our charter school. I do love the progress tracker. I know some people have said they don't really use this or they don't really know how to use it. This is my favorite part of the Schoolnest notebook because I love seeing how much of a particular curriculum we end up using, and it helps me make my decisions for curriculum choices for the following year. So I have, and you're going to see a lot here. I use a lot of curriculum because we don't always use the whole thing. I do like to pull from different programs or just different ideas. So here we have my son's language arts, cursive, reading, my daughter's cursive and reading, some writing and language arts, explode the code, lots of Blossom and Root, first language lessons, lots of math because I like to pull in different math programs. We have spelling and artist study and build your library and geography plans. And then this is our enrichment, music, Spanish, science, and more science. And in fact, I wish there were 2 more of these pages because I have even more little enrichments that I would like to log to see how much we use of it. So this is our lists and plans. I like these pages a lot. I've sectioned this out by subjects. So we have morning basket plans, which kind of looks like a lot, but I like to do a morning basket rotation where we're bringing in different things each term. There are a lot of repeats here, so I do have a lot of things that I plan to use the whole year round if they are working. Here I have the curriculum that I have planned for my daughter's language arts. There are some changes since I wrote this. We're actually not bringing in writing and rhetoric this year. We're going to hold off till next year. Otherwise, this is all the same. Math, I actually have some additions to math that I haven't properly announced yet, but we are doing Simply Charlotte Mason Arithmetic grade 3 or level 3. And then I'm also bringing in Wild Math, which is learning math outdoors. We might do a couple of fun blocks with this idea. And I got the 3rd grade level. Woody's language. Oh, and you know what? One more thing I did bring in for Poppy's language arts. I'll just put it here. I brought in Explode the Code, book 6. Okay. So for Woody's language arts, that's pretty much all staying the same. And then Woody's math, I'm bringing in Wild Math for him too. 1st grade. And we are actually using Simply Charlotte Mason arithmetic 1 for him too. I've already started that. I have lots of update videos to make for you guys. Okay, and then I have our science plan. So this is the curriculum we plan to use for science, history, handiwork. I have even more plans for handiwork. I need to kind of figure that out though. These are miscellaneous reference books that I really want to use in our homeschool year. And I'm even thinking of some right now that I need to add. And then service projects. For term 1, term 2, and term 3. If you're interested in the service projects we're doing, you can find those plans in my How We Keep Our Homeschool Creative video. So then I have 2 pages allotted for my daughter's book list. This is just for me to take notes about the books that she read. And then 2 pages for my, and then I'm actually going to cover up a couple things here that are private information. So this would be our calendar. Okay. And then this is Plan and Reflect. I really like these pages for each month. I believe each month. Yeah, so I've already really started planning ahead here. This is our summer school plans. I actually need to look back over this because some things may have changed. And then I like what I did here. I haven't done this before. Well, first I'll show the plans for each child for summer and then our summer goals. So I'll go through pretty soon here and start checking these off if we met our goals. I like what I did here. How did it go? Questions that I want to answer about what we did for summer school. What math did we end up choosing for Poppy? Did they finish their book project? How do we like wildlife rescue? Did we finish the Good and the Beautiful handwriting? Are we ready to move on to 3rd grade math? Things like that. And then this is August. Let's see. So I have my August plans. I have my first day of school plans, which we always do a really fun first day of school. I usually wrap up some fun school supplies and games. I get the kids their favorite scones with chocolate milk. These are the enrichment things I have planned. Curriculum here. What's going to be in our morning basket? What is our science plan, since our science is changing pretty steadily throughout the year? And then what are some extra things that I am really hoping to do? And then how did it go? So I might actually go through and ask myself some questions that I can answer at the end of the month. All right, and then getting into September, I've started noting the festivals that we're going to be celebrating. We're going to do Waldorf celebration of festivals this year and get to know some of the saints. And then I don't have a whole lot planned for the future months. I really just have summer school and August. And aside from, a bunch of festivals in December. So I am going to flip forward to, all right, so the last several weeks has been our 4 weeks of summer school. I'm not going to go over this stuff with you. I'm going to do a summer school update. Okay, so this is officially our first week of the fall term. So the way that I plan to use this weekly overview page is, and I'm going to bring in some colored pencils and kind of make it a little fun. But what I typically am going to do is write the week 1, since this is week 1 of our fall term. The other weeks were just summer school weeks, so I count those as their own thing. And then I am going to put my goals, my weekly goals, for each child. Now, I don't exactly have this figured out yet. I really only have our scheduled figured out. So I'm just gonna put their names here, and then I'm gonna have to sit with this a bit to figure out what exactly our weekly goals are. I do know how I'm using these boxes. This is going to be extracurricular.
Mom,
Yeah.
can tell you something.
What's up? So I like the idea of having an extracurricular calendar because I don't use this as my personal calendar, but I do like knowing what's coming up in the week since I just have this open all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. So what we'll go over here is just like play dates, appointments, my kids' nature school, horseback riding, things like that. All right, and then again, this will be weekly goals. This is going to be how did it go? And then over here, this is new in the Schoolnest. I love these daily trackers. Okay, so what I do for up here is I put a P for my daughter Poppy, independent reading. She needs to read 10 minutes a day, which usually ends up being more. And I just make a check mark for the 7 days a week if she did it. And then I have Poppy read aloud. I do want to make sure that I'm hearing her read aloud, and we do that for most of our school lessons, our reading lessons. So as long as she's reading aloud 5 days a week, I'm good with that. Then I have an M for mom, read aloud, to make sure I'm reading our free reads aloud or school assigned books. Woody, picture book. He needs to be read to at least once a day. Again, it's usually more than that. Woody, speech. He needs to be doing speech. He needs to be doing speech therapy with my husband and I at least 5 days a week. And I don't have one for the bottom. Okay, so let's get into the actual schedule because this is the part that I really have planned. 2025. Okay, so for the weekly plan, first I'll just put in the days, Monday. And then over here, I've been doing this the last few years. I do weekend prep. Things that I might need to do to get ready for our next week for each subject. Over here is where the subjects go. So this is going to be morning basket. This is going to be language arts Poppy. This is language arts Woody. This is math for both. So I just noticed, you guys, that the previous Schoolnest planner that I used last year had 6 boxes. Wait, 7. 7, and I used all of them. And I worked with those pages to create my practice plan. So this is interesting. I think what I'll have to do is put social studies and science in the same box. And then put extra down here because my kids, I do like putting their extracurricular again here just in case I'm not looking at this all week. I am looking at this all week. So that's kind of a bummer that Schoolnest decided to only do 6 boxes instead of 7. All right, and then, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and put in the day of the month. So 4, 5. All right, so I have color-coded my kids. I don't particularly love these pens. They have lasted the last couple of years, but they just don't write very dark, but they do erase. And I haven't been able to find erasable pens like at Target, and I guess I just haven't done enough research online. These are working well enough, but they are not very dark, like particularly the red or the light blue. But I'm running out because I used them last year too. So I guess we're just gonna start with these, and if I find better erasable pens, if you know of some, please let me know. Okay, so we're gonna start with morning basket, and I'm gonna use dark blue, which is for both of them because both my kids do morning basket. Every day of the week, well, first of all, I'm gonna put a big off right here because we don't do school on Thursdays. All right, so every day of the week, we're going to be doing Memoria Press, States and Capitals. And I'm going to tell you guys how long each subject takes us and how long our school day will ultimately take. All right, and then I believe 2 or 3 days a week we are doing cursive. I'm actually putting this in our morning basket because I find just getting our handwriting over with when we're both sitting at the table works well. And then I believe I'm doing it Fridays. Yeah. All right, we are doing artist study on Mondays. This is a fun way to start the week for us because my kids love artist study. We are doing Spanish every day.
Spanish every day?
Yeah. But we only do 10 minutes of Spanish per day. We are doing folk song. My plan is to do the folk song every day if the kids enjoy the song. Otherwise, we'll just do it once a week. It's fine. My daughter will be doing recitation 2 days a week. That will be on Tuesdays and Fridays. We are going to be doing studio art, and that is going to be on Fridays. We do our creative things together right away in the morning. Basically, we do all of our enrichment first thing for school to make sure that we get to it, and then our core subjects come after. The morning time is also the time where my kids come together before going off to do independent subjects, and we just find that this works best. On Tuesdays, we are doing Charlotte Mason elementary geography. And then on Wednesdays, we're doing our Woven Melodies music study. Okay, and that is our morning basket. So our morning basket will take us about 45 minutes. And then at which point we take a break for 10 minutes before coming back to independent subjects. Just to give you an idea of how I came up with 45 minutes, I have not done Memoria Press States and Capitals yet, but I don't want to do it for any longer than 10 to 15 minutes. Cursive shouldn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. Artist study is the longest thing that we do, and this will take about 20 minutes. Spanish should take 10 minutes, and folk song will take, just like 2 or 3 minutes. I really think that we can get that down to 45 minutes. If it takes 55 minutes, that's okay. That's only an extra 10 minutes a day. Okay, so let's go on to my daughter's language arts. I'm gonna use red for her. All right, every day she has write by number, which is a really, really short writing exercise. That's gonna be her main writing curriculum this year. Every day she will have a Charlotte Mason reading lesson. If you want to get an idea of what we do with our Charlotte Mason reading lessons, you can visit a video that I will link in the description box. But I will mention that because summer school did not include a lot of this curriculum, our Charlotte Mason reading lessons will be much more condensed to just reading and some vocabulary. And when I say reading, I mean reading out of like a living book or poetry. Okay, every day we will have Blossom and Root Level 3 Language Arts. But the assignments for each day will be totally different. So the first day we talk about elements of story, and we'll do copy work. The next day we will do wordplay. So I may actually take away our Charlotte Mason reading lesson. You know what? I'm going to right now. On Tuesdays, I don't think we need to do Charlotte Mason reading because we're doing wordplay with Blossom and Root, and we're doing vocabulary. So that's perfect. And then we will have our first language lessons. And I want to make sure that the copy work we do with first language lessons is happening every week. And I'm going to align that for Tuesdays because we don't have cursive on Tuesdays. Oh, I got kind of backtracked. Sorry, guys. Let's go back to Blossom and Root. Okay, and then Wednesdays for Blossom and Root, we're going to do our journal prompt. We're going to do the recommended poem and lit project. If we need to finish up any wordplay too, we'll do it that day. All right, and then for Friday, Blossom and Root, we will do our narration, plus dictation, plus we'll read the word list. Okay, and then getting back to first language lessons, we are only going to be doing that 3 days a week. So I put it in for Monday and then Friday. I do have spelling for every day, but I honestly think that we only need to do that maybe 3 times a week, maybe even 2. So I'm going to put spelling on Monday. And Wednesday. If I find we need to do it more than 2 days a week, I can squeeze it in on Tuesday. All right, let's do my son's language arts.
Mine?
Yep. So he has Charlotte Mason reading lessons every day.
Not every day, not on the weekend.
Not on the weekend, that's right. If you're curious about what Charlotte Mason reading lessons look like with him, I will link that video, how I teach Charlotte Mason reading to a kindergartner. We use Delightful Reading. We are still using a little bit of All About Reading pre-reading. I use lots of different resources to make learning letters and sounds fun. But we are going to be using, once he's ready to start blending more, we're going to be using A Gentle Feast, level 1. Okay. So he's also using Blossom and Root level 0. And I believe I have that every day. Let me have that 3 days a week. Oh, shoot.
Oh.
All right, guys, I just realized I'm using the wrong pen for him. So I'm going to go back, erase this, and then we'll start where I left off. I've got my kids and my dog around, guys, so bear with me. Okay, we're back to the right color. So Blossom and Root on Wednesday. And then we're not doing Blossom and Root Friday. Blossom and Root also will be different pieces, different things that we do every day. So on Monday, we are going to read aloud our book of the week, plus he'll give me his narration. Okay, and then on Tuesday, he'll do his lit project and copy work. On Wednesday, he will do his journal prompt. All right, and then that's it. I also put calendar in his, it's probably more math, honestly, but I have calendar written in for his language arts. We are doing a really interactive calendar this year with peg dolls. I'm really excited to do. If you're interested in how I do that, I can link that video too. It's really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and put calendar every day of the week. Friday, I'm putting in poem. He and I will read, or I will read him a poem from either Jack Palutsky or Robert Louis Stevenson. Okay, let's get into math. So my daughter's math, our math is kind of all over the place. We were using Right Start for the last couple of years and really love it, but I'm bringing in some different programs this year. So right now, all I have really known is that we're using Math Mammoth for the most part with my daughter, but we are using Right Start Level C for review. So that's what I'm going to write. And then on Fridays, it changes, and we're doing a lesson out of Simply Charlotte Mason, Arithmetic 3. Okay, and then for my son's math, his is a little up in the air too. Only because I have a couple different plans for him. But right now anyway, we're using the Good and the Beautiful. I don't love it, but it's working well enough for now. We'll be moving into Right Start Level A this year at some point. So he is nearing the halfway mark into the Good and the Beautiful Level K. But I don't know that the schedule for him with this will stay the same. I do have Simply Charlotte Mason Book 1 that I'm supplementing his math with. And I'm getting Wild Math, which is like an outdoor math program. So I'm really not too sure. But for now, that's what I'm going to write. All right, for social studies and science. We do these things pretty much together. So I'm going to use the blue pen. There is one thing, though, that I'm going to be doing with my daughter that I'm not doing with my son. And that is on Mondays, we're going to do American Girl Health, where we just read from this really sweet book. And then we are doing, for term 1 for science plans, we're doing a nature study out of a medicinal herb book. And I have that slotted for 2 days a week. We may only get to it 1 day a week. Did I plan to do science 4 days a week? No. Usually I only like doing it 1 day a week, but we're just going to see how this schedule goes. They are doing a 6-week wildlife rescue course, as if my charter school will approve it. I'm still waiting to get that approval, but it's all on the computer and I don't think I have to do anything for it. They just get to watch this woman talk about wildlife rescue. So that's going to be on Fridays. Okay, social studies, we are doing ancient history with Build Your Library Level 1. My daughter is also doing mythology with Blossom and Root Level 3. You guys have to stop. But what's interesting for the first week of school is that we're actually not starting week 1 of Build Your Library. I'm reading a couple of books with them to help prepare them for the context of ancient history. So I have the book Life Story and How Much is a Million, and that's what we're doing for our first week of history. But I have a lot of mythology / geography from Blossom and Root Level 3 that I'm doing with my daughter the first week. And I think this actually will be the way every week goes, assuming that it's working. We have so much geography plans this year. But I love Blossom and Root geography and I just didn't want to miss it. So it is optional in the program, but like, again, I really liked it the last couple of years. So I'm going to try to squeeze it in. All right. So for technically history, we are reading the How Much is a Million book on Tuesday. That may take us into Wednesday. And we are reading Life Story. And then my daughter's Blossom and Root geography, I'll do in red because my son won't be doing that, on Monday, we're doing creation stories. So blossom and root, geography, creation stories. Tuesday, we are doing the map assignment, blossom and root map. Wednesday, we're doing, they're calling it Square Shot. It's a project where you are making, decorating a little piece of art on a square. And then at the end of the term, you're supposed to like put them all together and somehow they relate to the mythology and geography that we're studying all year. So I have that designated for Wednesdays. And then it looks like there's a little review, a little question, a little Q&A as well. So we'll be doing that Wednesdays too. Blossom and root, square shot, plus Q&A. Okay, and then I don't have anything for Friday, I don't think, for blossom and root, no. All right, and then extra, the only extra I have right now is my kids' nature program. And then I want Poppy to practice her musical instrument, which she has chosen drums this year. I want her to practice on Mondays and Fridays. Oops, that would be red. And then to give you guys an idea of what the weekend prep might look like what that means is, if I'm looking at morning basket, I think that that would mean just like review week 2 Spanish. Let's see. The Memoria Press States is pretty open and go. I don't think that there's any prep for that. And then the cursive is really open and go. I would probably review the Charlotte Mason geography lesson just to make sure that I like it. So review CM geography. And then I would need to prep our studio art lesson for the next week. Okay, and that's it for that. For language arts, I would need to prep her Charlotte Mason reading lesson, which is just basically choosing whatever we're going to read and then looking ahead at the vocab to kind of get an idea of what words she might struggle with. I will need to prep Blossom and Root Lit project. First language lessons is really open and go. Spelling will be open and go. So I think that's it. All right, and then for Woody's language arts, I need to prep his Charlotte Mason reading lessons and prep his lit project. I would need to review their math lessons. Okay, so I would need to review, for social studies and sciences, review Blossom and Root geography, just to make sure I don't need to prep anything for it. I also want to review Build Your Library readings. I need to make sure that they're appropriate for my 5-year-old. And then our herb book is really open and go, but there are some projects with it that we might do. So I need to review or prep herb project. So I don't have our service projects scheduled in our year yet. I'm thinking that it will probably only take us 1 week to do each service project for the 3 terms I have. So I just don't have that scheduled in yet. We'll probably get into that as we get comfortable with our new school schedule. And I'm sorry, guys, I did not write in how many minutes each subject is going to take here. So let me show you. I have 60 minutes allotted for my daughter's language arts. I have 25 minutes allotted for my son's language arts. For math, I have 20 for my daughter and 10 for my son. For social studies and sciences, I have 10 minutes for science because honestly, I just don't think it's going to take us long to read our book. And if there's a project, it might be 20 minutes. But I'm just going to put 10 for science. And that will increase over the year because we have different science plans throughout the year. But the herb study book is really not going to take long. So I'm hoping that between the social studies from Build Your Library and Blossom and Root, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes, even if we're doing both of them in one day. That's what I'm hoping anyway. We'll see. So all in all then, I have 3.5 hours of school time per day. And that's give or take, of course. But what I'm really hoping is that we can start school at 9 a.m. sharp every day and then be done by 12:30, right before lunch. That is my goal. All right, guys, so that is our weekly plan and a little flip through of our homeschool planner. Let me know what you guys think of our schedule. If it looks totally nuts, if it looks totally doable. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'm going to be doing some update videos on summer school and kind of some of the new little tweaks that I've made to our curriculum. Nothing too big. But yeah, anyway, oh my gosh, it's coming so soon. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. I know we are. I know that I wish we had more of it. Maybe I'll take a bigger summer break next year. Every year, I kind of feel like I didn't quite get enough R&R before the next school year, but this summer I definitely took better care of us to make sure we got more of that relaxation. So anyway, again, I'll be giving you a summer update. Until then, have a great week. Bye.